Hey everybody, it's Saturday and we wanted to thank you for joining us in between football or Christmas shopping or whatever else you were doing today. We have got a special edition of HQ Live, and over here we were just talking about this. Which direction do I point, Melissa? This
Right,
way?
yeah, your opposite, the opposite one that you
Over
want
here.
to go in.
Here she is. She's over here.
Yeah.
Over here. Anyway, this is Melissa, and she's with a cannabis and smoke shop counterculture brand by the name of V Syndicate.
Yeah.
And they have
Okay.
I'm going to make this up. They transformed smoking accessories like grinders and rolling trays and what else, Melissa? You guys have a little of everything these days, don't you?
Yeah, a little of everything. So I'm sure people are familiar with the grinder card that we started with in 2010, the flat herb grinder credit card size. And then from there, we kind of went into like rolling trays. And that has been one of the biggest focuses over the last few years. We started off with the metal ones. Now we have glass. We have the 3D wooden rolling tray. We have a hybrid tray with a dab mat attached to it. So a little bit of everything there. We have now dab mats as well. We have magnetic tray lids that go on top of the metal trays. So we're very expansive, and this year has added a lot of new SKUs. So it's been crazy, but very good.
But you still have that cool grinder card out, don't you?
Yeah, we still do. Right now, we make them as non-stick, so they're a little bit easier to use than the original incarnation of them. So
tell us about that. It's not just a grinder, is it? It's got a poker. It's like a multi-tool, right?
The Dabbit card does.
The Dabbit card. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that has the grinder strip too. So the Dabbit card, that was one of the early inventions as well. And that one has the poker and the scraper, and of course you can dab with it, as the name suggests. And they do have like quite a few uses. And even with the grinder card, like you can kind of slice things with it, and they have the protective sleeve. So we still do quite a lot of them, but now since we've gotten into trays, it's been really the heavy focus. So we're doing like a little bit of a shift, and we have our 4-piece and 2-piece grinders now.
Yeah, one of the cool things about the grinder card and the Dabbit card too, HQ has given those away as promos at like Champs, and you guys partnered with us and custom branded the HQ logo onto those. So yeah, that's something that shops can do, correct?
Yeah, so I wasn't a part of it 10 years ago, but that's kind of how it got started. As first, like it was the grinder cards, and then a lot of people asked for private labeling. So obviously, like what you did with HQ, people have like really customized like the grind surface and like how they want it to be shaped, because it doesn't have to be like a rectangle or circle or anything. It could be any shape that you want. And so that is a very hefty part of the business, doing a lot of customs, collabing with, say, like influencers and stuff. We just did Dope as Yola's rolling trays. So there's a lot of work that's been coming in for customs.
Tell us a little about smoking accessories. It's something that every shop has. Is it something that can bring in customers, or is it an item that is a point of purchase type item? You guys have elevated it, so it's not just a hey, give me a rolling tray type of thing, right?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see. So a huge part of the business is the wholesale sector, of course. Most of it is sending out these big orders to the smoke shops and distributors and whatnot. We do have our own like e-commerce and our site and our Amazon. And so we really get the feedback from all different perspectives. And it's been interesting to see, because it's like, you think sometimes like if someone is buying like the tray, like now they have the tray, do they need like 50 more? But people are really into collecting a lot of these. We do a lot of giveaways, and I see people like waiting for like the new designs and everything. People really like think deeply into this. So we come up with a lot of original artwork. We have like our in-house designers that will like throw some ideas around and they'll make them. So one of the newer ones we had, we put on glass. Hopefully the reflection isn't too bad. This is, of course, Tesla. It was based
Is
We
that
had like
that lenticular?
no, I can show you that one as well though. So I have it was like something just fell. So I have this one, which because of the computer screen, it's gonna be kind of hard to
Yeah,
see
it's gonna be
the
hard to see, but
3D. But as best as I can to
yeah.
show it. If they go on our Instagram, you can kind of see the 3D effect. But
Mhm.
it's in wood, and so this Einstein has been a really crazy response to this. We put it up on Amazon, and it's about like 80% of the sales is like for this design. It's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, people
That's
love
really
that.
cool.
And so we've been doing quite a few things with the lenticulars. We have two sizes for these, and people have had a really great response. Like online, we've advertised on like Instagram, and I see a lot of trolls usually on like the meme pages we talk to and use. But on ours, like luckily the 3D trays have been a success. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to see that continue.
So tell us a little bit about merchandising. A smoke shop. That's who hopefully is watching this.
Mhm.
How do you see them displaying your V Syndicate accessories in a store?
It's an interesting question because this year we just started offering slat walls. So a lot of people we had first like use them at Champs, and a lot of people were asking and saying like they really like how you can display it fully. And
Mhm.
it's something that's like it's simple, but it's not like something that everyone thinks of until like everyone started asking. So now we sell them as an option that people can buy. So it's like a bundle, and one side will be displaying like the glass and then the other side is displaying the metal. So that you get like a really good mix for everything. And we
Mhm.
work on a lot of marketing materials for the stores. Like we've had some photo shoots this year, like for like a 90s theme, like different colorful themes, so they can kind of show some unique posters, and using a lot of different types of models and stuff. So there's a lot of thought going into like all of the POPs, the displays, and we're calling our slide walls the V station. So that's just been a very cool thing. It's like I don't know, maybe like 6 foot tall display. I'm much shorter than it, so something like that.
Well,
Um,
it's cool for a store. It's kind of like going back to tapestries. You know, smoke shops used to have tapestries, and it really added a color and a vibe to a store. With the amount of artwork that you guys have on your trays, especially, it's the same effect. You really add something to that store that isn't there before.
yeah, it's been really interesting to see. It's like, especially now when we like go around, say like downtown LA, and you'll see all the posters going up. It's like, what thing can you do to make it stand out a little bit more? So now we're just trying to add like just more color, and we're really focusing on what people respond to with the designs. So say like something with the Einstein, I'll show the rolling papers now, but these colors, people are really responsive, and so we're trying to kind of go in that one direction and take all the feedback to heart.
How about licensing? Do you guys work with any? I know you're talking about one of the artists. Do you work with any celebrities or any influencers to like get them on the product themselves?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So I know some people might be familiar with how we mentioned Cheech and Chong was one of the licensing things we had on the grinder cards. And lately we have kind of shifted to do a little bit more of our own more original work, just
Mhm.
so we can get out there and be a little bit more creative with ourselves and challenge ourselves with that. But we do also collaborate like with certain artists that we come across. Just reaching out to them through Instagram and stuff like that has been really helpful. And then when it comes to influencers, either like they'll approach us and want to do some kind of collab, or sometimes we'll just see that there's clearly like a cool need that they might have for that. Um, and then, like I mentioned, Dope is Yola. So he was a big collab that we worked on this year. He got two different glass tray designs, and that was just it just came out really successfully. We did this big video with him and promotions and whatnot. So it's always really helpful to just have that community perspective. And like I said again, just getting everyone's input for the artwork. But yeah, we're trying to think of what ways we can go in, like doing a little bit less of taking like other artwork and parodying, doing less like parody and doing more like our own.
Mhm. Well, with that being said, are they limited editions? Do you try and come out with new pieces every so often?
Yeah, so we do have this year we've come out with more designs than I can even count right now because we've had so many different collections released. Um, but yeah, I mean it all depends. Like there's some limited edition stuff that we are thinking of like having for a certain time. Like we kind of by accident sometimes have them as limited edition because we'll see like this design could be altered a little bit better. So you'll see a few iterations of like, say for example, we have a Van Gogh design and originally it was like more orange. We noticed people like a little bit more like cool, calmer colors. So we kind of edited that one. Um, so it's a mix of like on one hand, like we want to keep some things a little bit more limited and we're
Mhm.
trying new things. Like I showed you the rolling papers and stuff. Like we're seeing what else there's a need for, and then just improving on whatever we've had before. So each thing is like coming out a little bit different. If people follow, you'll notice like tiny differences each time.
Yeah, I was just I'm looking at your website right here while we're talking. The rolling papers must be pretty new. I don't even see them on the website.
Yeah, they're actually if it's on like if you go on the homepage and like scroll through the little top carousel there, they should pop up. We did just add those, like they just came in, I think like last week. So we're definitely still trying to work on promoting those next. It's like another thing of feedback that we've just heard, and like just being able to add a really colorful design on that. It's like you really see how just I don't know, I guess like when you're stoned and you want to kind of view something that's relaxing to look at and not so loud in your eyes. Um,
Mhm.
so it's been good so far with that too.
Let me ask you, how does the actual um, cannabis community affect what you guys are going to produce? If let's say flower becomes the big popular thing, or dab becomes the big popular thing, do you take that into account in product development?
Yeah, definitely. We try to offer a mix of everything, but we do notice, like, of course, the trends kind of sway. Of course, now for the last years, like vaping has been big, so we're like looking at like what can we do with something like that. And it's also kind of it's interesting to see like cannabis become more like professional. It's not so much like in the past, of course. Like now it seems like everyone's using it, so we kind of have to, of course, cater to different levels of users of like different ages. It's like we don't want to, of course, we don't want to like cater to like high school students. Um, yeah. So that's kind of the challenge too, is like how to keep it high end enough, I guess, so that it really invites everyone and we look more like a brand and like rather than just, not so like I guess stonery, like kind of all inclusive. We
Yeah,
have
you talk about stonery. There was a time in this industry, not that long ago, even when every product and box had pot leaves all over it.
hmm
And if I'm, looking at some of your pieces, they may have a marijuana leaf in the background, or, a bud. I was looking at the Tesla one, and he's kind of holding up a bud.
yeah.
If you didn't really know what that was, you wouldn't know that it's
hmm
for smoking. So it doesn't. You're right. It's more mainstream. It's more about the artwork than just, hey, we're going to put a pot leaf on this if someone's going to buy it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you could see like in the beginning a lot of the designs said 420 on them, and which is
Right.
still cool and people still love that. But it's like in order to cater to like say there's a lot of moms now who smoke, like I know they're probably not gonna buy like a 420 Rasta leaf half the time. So it's like just kind of seeing and there's also like a lot of younger people who just again appreciate the artwork. They really love like say putting those kind of stickers and stuff and designs on. So I can tell it kind of transcends just the accessory and like people want it as art. Like we even have posters with the Einstein and people
Mhm.
just love to look at that.
I love the cassette tape. I think that's one of my
Oh
favorites.
yeah. That's one of the new ones too. We just got that in about like a month ago or so. And that was one that I thought the 90s are really coming back, which is interesting.
Mhm.
It's kind of confusing because they were not that long ago, but they're really big again. So we're kind of looking at like what kind of 90s designs can we bring?
Yeah, my neighbor, she's about 20. I don't know how old she is, but she's a college student in her early 20s. And I had a box of vinyl records in my garage, and I had my garage open, and she's walking her dog by. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" She came over for a second. What's that? She had no idea what it was.
Really?
No, I don't know
Oh,
if that was.
wow. That's kind of crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
but I was like, "You don't know what this is?" No, what is that? Like a DVD? Or I was like,
Wow.
"No, this is a record."
Wow, I mean, that's interesting because I feel like records are also coming back
Yeah,
in a way.
vinyl's coming back. So
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The trends are very
I
interesting.
don't think cassettes are ever going to come back. They were too much of a pain in the ass. If you
Yeah.
ever tried to rewind those by sticking a pencil in the round thing and twirling it around.
Yeah, that's kind of awful. And then it's like once you get it all stuck, you might never fix it. So those
Yeah.
probably won't. But I've seen people like make necklaces and stuff out of them, and so that's really interesting.
So tell me, what's your favorite part about working at V Syndicate and being involved with this industry?
Oh, well, there's definitely a lot. I think I never expected that I would get involved in the cannabis industry. But just I was really curious because it's such a space to be creative, and I feel like there's really no limitations when you are thinking about an idea or like a photo shoot, some kind of marketing concept. Like you don't really have to stick to one guideline, and that's what we all really appreciate. The team is just very close knit, and we always kind of try to hire people so that we know everyone will feel comfortable with each other and it's kind of like family oriented.
Sure.
And I feel like probably a lot of people in the industry might feel that way. It's like very specific people that come together. So that's definitely been my favorite thing. I think that it's like a job that I wasn't totally sure I would ever like see myself in at first, but now it's like hard to see some other like avenues because it's just so open-minded.
Right. When you go to trade shows and I guess even just from Instagram and online, do you have a lot of people making suggestions to you?
Yeah, definitely. There is a lot. At trade shows, we do always see that. It's like people just stopping by and like commenting on a certain thing or like, certain colors. And so there are a lot of suggestions. People suggest like, oh, you should, work with this artist. A lot of people leave their contacts for, photo shoots and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then online, it is like, I like ask them some questions like on our stories and I'll ask like, what kind of things do you want to see next from us? And there's a lot of input. And what's interesting too is like we'll do promotions with pages like say Weed Humor or something. And I noticed because it's hard to avoid these pages not having ads. It's like where else are people going to post their stuff, especially in this industry because you can't advertise on Instagram. But I see a lot of comments on our posts that are positive, luckily. So there's been a lot of good feedback there for people like saying like, oh, this should kind of maybe be like this instead. And so we always look at that, and our Amazon too is helpful for a lot of the feedback.
And you guys are, you said like a little family, and you guys are located in California, right?
Yeah, we're in California. We're in Long Beach, our main office. So
Down there by Snoop.
yeah, it's interesting. I didn't realize that like Long Beach has so many affiliations with some really cool people.
Yeah. What's your favorite piece that V Syndicate has developed, or whether it's still available or not? What's your favorite piece?
Oh, that's really hard to say now that we have so many. I think one, which is it's kind of like maybe it's like too obvious, but again, like with the 3D high def trays, I feel like it's just something that I've not really seen too much in like in any like industry. I feel like lenticulars are kind of like here and there, but they're not being utilized so much. And it's like for the cannabis industry, it's the perfect space for that. So that because it's also nice to make content with. And we do a lot of like video shoots, and the team just opened up a TikTok account, which is so funny. Like again, I never thought that like we'd be involved in TikTok, but it's a crazy turnaround. Like you open it, and like the next day you've had thousands of views. So that's been kind of cool. And then also with the glass, like I think that just doing all the drop tests we've done, like someone gets on like a forklift and like throws it off, or someone runs it over in a car, which they just did. Like our warehouse manager like got in and he ran over it with the car and it didn't break, which was
That's
kind of
right.
crazy.
You
So
ran over a tray.
yeah, sorry, what was that?
You ran over a tray.
Yeah, there's a video on our stories. I put it under our highlights button where it says drop test, but he just ran right over it with his front car tire and nothing happened. So I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, I know that they're very strong. They're made of tempered glass, but still it's kind of crazy to see all the content that we can make with it. And it's pretty funny too, to just have everyone like toss this stuff around.
Well, that's good because, you know, the more content you guys put out, the more people are going to know about it, and they're going to ask at the stores, you know, if they have V-Syndicate products.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, stores can bring them in and know that it's a brand that's active and promoting itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been interesting. A lot of the smoke shops will actually do drop tests themselves and send them to us. And it's so funny, like they really get creative with it. Sometimes they'll do like a little skit where they pretend that they're gonna not drop, they're gonna like throw it to the other person, they drop it. And so that's just always awesome to see. And it's kind of surreal too. Like I came from Philly. And when I went there in September, I was walking down South Street where they have a lot of smoke shops. And one, like a few that I happened to like just like look in the window or like look inside, they have a bunch of V-Syndicate stuff. And it's like, you know that people are buying it, but you just don't think like, wow, it's all over here. So that's been so cool.
Have you run into anybody out in the public who just like you were talking about collectors? These don't you don't even have to use these. Get some double-sided tape and put them up on the wall. You know, make a collage out of them. That's used for decor as well as a functional accessory.
Yeah, that's another cool thing about like even especially like with the glass, or like you can use the metal as like organizer stuff. I use some as like soap dishes and whatnot. It's just like there are so many uses, and yeah, it's fun. That's why another reason like we really like build on the artwork is like we want people to have this multifunctional thing. So I know, yeah, a lot of people are like will mention that they've been buying like this, and this from us, and like there are definitely like a lot of collectors out there, which is so interesting to see. Like I've never really collected anything, but I love to see people send us their content, like individuals us out.
And they can find you guys while we're talking about that. It's rolling down here at the bottom of the screen at vsyndicate.com or at vsyndicate. vSyndicate will get you to the Instagram. You know, something we didn't talk about was you guys have storage containers as well, right?
Storage container. We have our main, like, do you mean like our between our warehouse space and like our storage spaces that we?
No, like stash.
Oh, storage container. Sorry, I was like thinking about all the stuff that we got in this week.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of storage containers full of product ready to ship out.
Yes. No, actually, that could be one day, just a huge order. But no, yeah, we have our smart stash jars, and they're coming back into stock within like another month or so. So we're excited to have them back. They sold really quickly, and sorry, what was that?
You said smart stash jars. What makes them so smart?
So the top, I think I have one. I can grab one really quickly.
Sure, that's fine. So,
okay, so I have.
If you're out there and you're watching, and you have any questions, just put them in the comments, and we'll get back to you.
Yes.
So, Melissa, back to you.
Okay, so this is the smart stash. It's I'm not turning it the right way because I have no idea which the camera is going. But anyway, so this is the smallest size. We have 3 sizes. The most popular, I'd say, is like medium. And this has on the top the wooden bowl, so you can grind with this magnetic grinder plate right here.
Oh, nice.
And then that's detachable, of course, and then you have like this area where all of the bud will go, and then you can kind of funnel it out too. There's a little space here, and then this is the glass jar part of it, of course. And it has on the other side, if you're, oh, sorry for the glare. This is a place for a humidity packet to go, and they each come with their own humidity packet, and then we sell those separately as well. So you just put it in here, it's magnetic, and then you can store all of the leftovers, which there are some right now in here.
And that's your personal one, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a lot of the products, of course. So
yeah, I thought that was an LED on the bottom of that for a second when you showed that. I was like, whoa, lit up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we have like a lot of them you can see through. Just kind of showed here. The sun is going down, but you can see through the glass. There's a lot of different colors and designs that we have. And again, when we introduced them, they kind of moved pretty quickly when we started showing them like at Champs. So we're really glad that I think they're on their way to us right now. So
great.
It's exciting.
Well, that's something you can have in your store for the new year when people come in with their Christmas money.
Yes, I can't believe it. It's almost the new year.
So let's wrap this up. Get back to Saturday. Tell stores how they get a hold of you, and why would they want to deal with this V-Syndicate? What's the brand? What's the guarantee that you guys offer them? Maybe not guarantee, but what's the value that you guys offer them?
I would say just our dedication to bringing really unique, interesting products. And also we really care about the quality. Like we test it ourselves. If there's ever any issues that we encounter personally, we're going to make sure in the next round that we address those. Because, of course, like no one's perfect. And sometimes you'll have like a small flaw that you're like, oh, I wish it didn't turn out like that. So each time we're like, what can we do better with packaging? And what can we do better with this material? So we're really focused on like not offering things that are going to just be useless and break and you're going to need to buy 50 of them and replace them. We really want to get that together. And whenever customers come to us and say like, this thing gave me an issue, we're always like, okay, well, we're going to fix that immediately. And again, yeah, we're just really solid about having our brand and making our brand very specific to caring about what everyone else wants to see. And if anyone wants to contact us, they can go either to the website, vsyndicate.com. They can DM us on Instagram. They can email us at info@vsyndicate.com. There's a lot of different avenues there. And we're always happy to discuss as much as they need, as many questions as they have. There's never too much that we can go over.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. And there's a dog in the background.
Oh, how cute.
Sleeping. So anyway, thanks for being with us, Melissa. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. The dog is great.
But yeah, everybody check out V-Syndicate. They've got a lot of really cool stuff. And as we were talking about at the beginning of the show, they also do custom branding. So take advantage of the quality and the artwork for your own shop to make it something unique.
Yes, we're excited.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. And you guys stay tuned. We've got a holiday contest coming up in about a week. And stay tuned. We'll give you some more information about that. In the meantime, check out V-Syndicate. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you later.
See you.